So we're going to talk about trends. Now, first of all, we of course need to find out what is actually a trend. And here we can see a trend as an assumed development in the future that will have a long-term and lasting effect on change. When we want to talk about trends, we of course first have to define what is a trend. Now, there are loads of different definitions, but I've chosen this because I think this suits innovation and how trends affect innovation management. So here, a trend is an assumed development in the future that will have a long-term and lasting effect on and change something. Current developments are moving in a different direction or intensifying even more. So basically what we're seeing is trends are something that's happening that will have an effect on the future. This is what we're talking about. Now we'll divide these trends into mega, macro and micro trends. So we've got three different trends here. The big ones, they're the parents of the macros. That's the mega trends, as we can see here. So the mega trends are the really big. There are few of them and they have been lasting for a very long time. Now the macro trends are then the children of the mega trend. It means that the mega trends spawn these macro trends. The macro trends have been around for several years and they're also probably cross-cultural, cross-country, these macro trends. And in the end, we got the micro trends. The micro trends are then the children of the macro trends. It also means that macro trends spawn micro trends. Micro trends are not around for as long, but they are many. And this is basically what we're seeing here, that the mega trends, there are few, there are more macro trends, and there are loads of micro trends. Micro trends can also be only happening in designated areas. They can be happening within one country. They can be happening within a certain culture, but they'll always be an effect of a macro trend. Let's go into examples here. The mega trends here, we can see urbanization, global heating, tech development. These are mega trends. They've been around for several decades. We all know that they're going to have a huge effect on society as we know it. So that's definitely going to shape the future. But these mega trends then spawn macro trends. And here we can basically see 10 macro trends. Now the CO2 level is rising. This creates a problem for climate. We can also see that we're more and more connected. This is of course a child of the megatrend technology. You can see the world is aging. This also comes with technology. We're able to create better medicine because we're able to compute more data than we've been before. Now, if we then look at these macro trends, because these spawn, and that's actually where it gets really interesting, and really interesting for companies as well, to look at what do they then spawn, because they spawn these micro trends. Now, micro trends, there are loads of. You just see some of them. There are now networks for different kinds of skincare. There are generation where piercing is something smart, something new. And all these things, they spawn by the macro trends. We're looking a lot at flexitarian meats, and this is definitely something coming from climate change. Other micro trends here, waste retail. You're trying to make waste into a retail, and that's something that comes from the fear of climate change, and the fear of climate change comes from the rising CO2 levels in the air. So we can see all of these different microtrends, and we can link them back to macro trends, and the macro trends we can then lead back to the mega trends. And companies, of course, have to use this to then see what will have an effect on my business